Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the major tech shifts that aren't just on the horizon, they're here, and they're already starting to define our future. These aren't just neat ideas, they're powerful forces that are literally reshaping our world as we speak.
But before we get into all the details, I want you to think about something. What if technology could do more than just follow your commands? What if it could actually get what you're trying to do, maybe even enhance your own thoughts? Keep that question in mind, because it's the thread that's going to tie all of this together.
See, this new wave of tech is so incredibly powerful that just understanding it isn't, optional anymore. It's the absolute key to making sure we build a future we all actually want to live in.
All right, first up is what might just be the most transformative force on our list. We're talking about a completely new kind of AI.
It's called Agentic AI. And no, this is not just another chatbot. These are autonomous systems. That means you don't give them a step-by-step to-do list. You just give them a goal. They then go and figure out the plan and take the actions all by themselves. It's a massive leap forward.
And this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. This change is happening incredibly fast. We're going from less than 1% today to a reality where by 2028, a full third of all business software will have this kind of agentic AI baked right in.
So this really shows you the fundamental shift. We're moving away from AI that's just reactive, that waits for you to tell it what to do, to AI that's proactive and goes out to achieve goals. So think about it this way. Today's AI might assist you with your work. Agentic AI can actually offload your work. It's like a whole new virtual workforce.
But, of course, with that kind of power comes a pretty serious downside. Because when you create powerful, autonomous agents, you also open the door for powerful, autonomous threats. Malicious actors using this kind of tech could cause some really significant damage.
And that means we absolutely have to build the guardrails now, before this stuff is everywhere. And that requires a defense on three fronts. First, we need strong AI governance, clear rules of the road. Second, we have to build deepfake detection right into our security systems. And third, we have to design these systems for fairness from the very beginning to avoid harmful biases.
Now, all this new intelligence, well, it can't run on yesterday's digital plumbing. It's actually forcing us to rebuild the very foundations of our digital world, starting with the locks that are supposed to keep everything safe.
Okay, so a huge security crisis is coming, and it basically happens in 3 steps. Step 1 is the threat. Quantum computers are on the way, and they'll be able to crack the encryption we use for everything today. Step 2 is the result. All our current digital locks, for banking, for data, for communications, they all become useless. Which brings us to step 3, the defense. We have to switch right now to a new standard called post-quantum cryptography. It's a whole new kind of lock that a quantum computer just can't pick.
So at the exact same time we're rewriting our security, we're also giving our physical world a kind of digital nervous system. It's called ambient intelligence. Just imagine tons of tiny, super cheap sensors and tags making everything, from a factory floor to an entire street city, intelligent and responsive in real time.
The potential here is just massive, because it basically makes the invisible visible. Think about a supply chain where you know the exact location and condition of every single box in real time. That level of data opens up totally new business models and lets us build smarter infrastructure that actually responds to what we need. But there's a catch to all of this. All this smarter AI, all these sensors, all this data, it creates a huge challenge. We have this soaring, skyrocketing demand for computing power, but we have to meet that demand while also dramatically lowering our energy use and our carbon footprint. And that paradox is what's pushing us to invent some incredibly energy-efficient new ways to compute.
So we've got smarter intelligence and a more responsive world. That brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, how all of this completely changes the relationship between us, humans, and machines, creating a whole new kind of team. This quote really captures a huge mental shift. We're getting away from the idea of robots as these dangerous machines locked away in cages on a factory floor. The future is one where they work right next to us, in our offices, in our homes, acting like real, genuine teammates. And the key that unlocks all of this is the idea of polyfunctional robots.
So instead of a robot that only welds or a robot that only vacuums, these are machines that are designed to do many different things. And that versatility is what's going to allow them to really become part of our daily lives, both at work and at home.
You can really see the whole story of our relationship with technology right here. We started out by using physical tools. Then we moved on to commanding digital devices. Well, the next big leap is a true merger, where the line between human ability and machine intelligence starts to get really blurry.
And that brings us right back to the question I asked at the very beginning. This merger leads to what you might call the final frontier. Technology that doesn't just respond to us, but actually integrates with us. Using neurological enhancements to improve how we think and perform, that's not just a sci-fi idea anymore. It's a real technological trend that's on the horizon. So the takeaway here is that these trends aren't just forces of nature that are going to happen to us. They are tools and pathways being built as we speak, and they demand that we get involved and make some very careful choices.
This, right here, is the single most important challenge we face. For every single one of these incredible new possibilities, the goal has to be innovation that is responsible, that is ethical, and that maintains public trust. Because honestly, without that, none of this works.
So where do we even start? Well, here's a blueprint. Start thinking about polyfunctionality as the default for robotics. Invest in AI governance and deepfake detection now, not 5 years from now. Make energy-efficient computing a priority in every decision. Start planning your transition to new cryptography today. And start looking for those early opportunities to use ambient intelligence to create real value.
In the end, technology just provides the tools. We're the ones who provide the vision. So the real question isn't about what technology can do, it's about what kind of future we will choose to build with it. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.